Hello, everyone. First, I would like to thank Anwar Malik and the entire CommuniTea team for allowing me the opportunity to share my story. You guys did an excellent job. I also admire and I was amazed by all the other guest speakers who share their inspiring story and wish them all the best in their future venture. I'm proud of you. Can I say how blown away I was by the amount of support we received from all of you across the world, friends and family, customers, suppliers, consumers, and the entire community in general. Thank you all. It is such a great feeling to have your support, which is why we have chosen to give it all back to our community. Follow Taza on social media and stay tuned, as in the next 30 days, we will announce how we plan to give it back to our community. Last but not least, a special thanks to Lipton Yellow Label for the $10,000 grant. Happy New Year. Stay safe.
Our mission from this show is to highlight as much as we can of this positive story and see how much positivity they had on the community. Fadi, he hires like 2,000 people, most of them from the Arab community. Imagine the positive impact on the community in addition to his philanthropic work. Everyone, each one of them, they kind of highlighted a certain angle of a success story. It's really interesting, the combination that we got. It's really nice.
The common theme is that everybody had to do it their own way. You know, you look at 10 different stories, 9 different stories that we did, no two people had the same background story. The only common theme was how hard they had to work to prove themselves, you know, within their community as immigrants and within their own industry. And I love what Dr. Hassan said yesterday, you know, you always have to work twice as hard as the next guy just because you're an immigrant.
And most of the time they do work twice as hard.
قبل خط الصفر لأنه وين ما رحت عندك لهجة، وين ما رحت الناس ما رح يعطوك كريدت بشكل مباشر، بس يسمعوا اسمك بدهم يحسوا إنه مين هاد. دائما كان عندي الشعور ولساته موجود، وأنا متأكد إنه لحديت ما إذا بدي أقدر أحقق هدف معين بدي يكون أحسن من غيري بمرتين حتى أقدر أوصل لهالهدف. وهذا الشيء بضل موجود. هلا في شغلة اسمها الاميجرانت انكزايتي، هي موجوده جواتنا كلياتنا ما بتروح، وبتصور هي صحيح عنصر مزعج لنا من جوا، بس هي سبب نجاح، لانه لو ما عندك الانكزايتي ما بتضل بيرسيستنت وعم بتحاول على طول.
You know, Rania said it earlier in her episode, and everybody I think heard, you know, taking a rough job early on will teach you a lot and will set up the rest of your career.
I went to investment banking, like I told you, it was the default thing to do. It was one of the best decisions I ever made because it was so incredibly hard. I cried so many nights where, you know, I wasn't good enough, or I truncated decimal and the associate was just in shock that I didn't have that attention to detail, or I didn't have the sources when I built my models. And so I worked so hard, and I was very good at the end, but it took a lot. And I remember I used to cry calling my dad and saying, you know, I did so much work and I produced it and I was so proud. And then the associate or VP I was working with told me it wasn't good enough. And he said, that's okay. It'll make you stronger. He said, that's good. And so that was my foundation. So I always give people the advice that they should go do the hardest thing they possibly can when they're early in their career, even if they don't enjoy it, because you become, I now consider myself a woman of leisure. I work so many hours, I work super hard, but for me, I'm a woman of leisure because nothing phases me anymore.
Plus, if you remember what Alex said from ZCZ, in addition to the skills, you need a bit of luck, actually.
So you think to yourself, like, have you really done something so special? And you doubt yourself, like, what are you doing? But then you realize that you're just like, you know, everyone else who had an opportunity. You have 10 hands, 10 fingers, a brain that's working, parents that luckily loved you and grew up in a loving home, and you can do anything and you can inspire other people. So that was the big break that we got. It was Whole Foods and the NPR podcast at the same time. But all of this was happening when Zatar in general started trending in the food media. So it's this perfect storm of this modern Mediterranean brand, authentic founders moving together. People ask me this question, you know, and Guy Raz asks it too, and he says, you know, luck or hard work? In the beginning, I thought it was hard work. Once you go down this road long enough that you realize that it's luck and timing is the majority of it.
It's really good. We had a really good season.
No, absolutely. But come on, it's amazing, you know, the more research we made, the more like new names across the country that we came by.
Yeah.
That once we just want to like do 100 more of them.
Yeah, we'll
We'll have 100 more names to do like easily, and it'll be as amazing of a story every other time.
hopefully in season 2.
Together we feel at home. Oh. Community, وسط اجتماعية. Community, together we feel at home. Community, وسط اجتماعية.